Alright, so right now I'm in After Effects, and before I jump and start creating stories, I would like to change my layout. So since we all know that Instagram stories are in a vertical format, so I'm going to just simply drag this composition window and just simply snap it onto the right side. So over here you can see that we have this really nice vertical comp. This will help you in the editing process, but this is not compulsory. If you don't want to do this, you can just simply go with the default layout. So let me just adjust the layout according to this, and now we are pretty much done with the layout. So over here you can see that I have already created a folder in which I have imported all the images that I'm going to use for this course, and you can download these images from unsplash.com just like I did, or if you have your own images you can import them also. So first thing first, we are going to create a new composition. So let's go to composition, new comp, and make sure the comp name is main01 since this is going to be our first story, and make sure the width and height are in a ratio of 1080 by 1920. This will give you a nice vertical aspect ratio which is required for Instagram stories. Also make sure duration is something around 15 seconds or less than 15, since Instagram stories are 15 seconds at most in length. So just click on OK, and here you can see that we have this really nice vertical panel. Now I'm going to create another composition for our media. So let's call this media, and rest of the things will remain same. Just click on OK, and I can probably change its name to media01 since this is the first story. And after that I'm going to import an image into this comp. So I'm going to use this image. So once you have imported, you can press S key on this keyboard to scale it down and just play around with its position. Make sure it's on fit up to 100% so that you can see the entire window. So just play around with the position however you want. So I think this is looking nice, and I will go back into the main comp, and I can simply drag this media composition over here. So we have a media set. Now let's create a square. So this story will tell viewers that a sale is going on your website or somewhere like that. So in order to do that, we are going to create the box in which we will type information about sales. So just simply click on the rectangle tool, and you can simply click anywhere and just simply drag around the mouse. And in order to make it a perfect square, make sure to hold down the shift key, something like this. And once it has been created, you can place it in the center of the composition using the align panel. In case you are not able to see this, just go to Windows and click on this, and it will enable it. So select the layer, just align it in the center of this composition like this. And after that you can select the layer, and you can also move the anchor point in the center. To do that, just simply select the layer, and while holding down the control key, just double click on this pan behind tool, and it will make the anchor point in the center. Since it is already center, there is no need for that. And once you have created that, I'm going to select the text tool to write some text. So our first text is going to be sale, since this story will give information about sale. So just quickly align it in the center of this box, and after that let's select the layer and make sure its anchor point is in the center. Now again I'm going to select this and press Ctrl D to duplicate it, and for this one I'm going to type summer, since this is going to be a summer sale, and just place it on top of it. You can probably select it and scale it down, something like this. And you can probably change its font. So let's go with this one. Again duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D or Command D. You can also select the layer, then go to edit, and you can duplicate it from here. So for this one we are going to type flat 60%. So whatever amount you want to give, you can type here. Just change its size so that it fits nicely. Yeah, so this is looking nice. Just play around with the positions. So once you are satisfied with your look, you can pretty much start animating these. So first we are going to animate our box. So in order to do that, just simply select the box shape layer, then press S on the keyboard to add a scale property and click on this stopwatch to add a keyframe, then move the keyframe further apart somewhere around 1 second like this, and in the beginning we want the value to be 0. Now select both the keyframes. You can press F9 to easy ease them, or you can right click, go to keyframe assistant, then easy ease, and after that just simply click on this icon to go into the graph editor. And over here you can see that we have the nice curve. So in case your graph is looking different, you might be in the edit value graph, something like this. Make sure to check this edit speed graph value. So just simply select the endpoint and you can probably change its look something like this. And now if I play back, here you can see that we have the box animation happening. So this is exactly what we want. Now we are going to animate our text. So let's just place them accordingly like this. So first we are going to animate the sale text. So for this one we are going to create a simple position animation. So under animate, just simply go to position, and from here you can drop down the range selector, and under the advanced property we are going to change view parameters. Now first thing first, we are going to change the position. So we are going to make the text appear from top. So I'm just simply dragging it up like this, and in order to animate it we are going to use the offset value. But first let's change few of the values. So for smoothness we can go with ramp up, and now I am going to quickly change the offset value. So in the beginning we want the value to be -100, and as the box appears we want the value to be 100. So now you can see that the animation is happening, but it's not looking quite good. So in order to tweak this animation, you can play around with the ease high and ease low value. So if I crank this up to 100%, and now if I play back, here you can see that it has this really nice ease in the starting and it speeds up at the end. So if I change this value to -100, and now if I play back, here you can see that now our text is coming fast and it has this really nice easing at the end. So this is exactly what we want. So once you are happy with your text, you can probably change the keyframes to get different looks. Yeah, so I think this is looking fine. So we're pretty much done with the sale text animation. Now let's animate both of these text. So select both the layers, then press P on the keyboard for position and click on the stopwatch to add a keyframe. And in the beginning we want the summer text to come from this side and the flat 60% off to come from the right side. So once again select the keyframes, press F9, then go to the graph editor, and you can probably change the value to look something like this. So now if I play back, here you can see that we have this really nice animation going on. So as you can notice that there is one small problem, that in the beginning all the texts are visible. So we can fix that by simply selecting the shape layer and then press Ctrl D to duplicate it, and just simply place one copy above each text. Just keep on doing it like this. You can now select the track matte option and set it to alpha matte. In case you are not able to see this option, you can simply click on this icon and it will make it appear. So just simply change the track matte to alpha matte, and now if I play back, here you can see that now our animation is happening. So this is exactly what we want. You can also offset the animation. So let's select the summer and flat 60%, and I can just probably move them a little bit further apart, something like this. So now we get this kind of look. So this is looking nice. Now let's add the swipe up option. So as you know that in Instagram stories you can add a feature called swipe up. So whenever they are viewing your story, they can swipe up to go to your website or whatever place you want them to visit. So we are going to create an indicator for that. So again we are going to select the rectangle tool, and I'm going to just simply create a rectangle, something like this, and just play around with its position like this. And now I'm going to select the sale text and just press Ctrl D to duplicate it and make sure the track matte is set to none. And after that I'm going to double click and just simply type swipe up, and after that just simply place it on top of this layer so that it is visible like this. You can probably select it and scale it down, something like this. Also, you will notice that this is coming from top, but we want it to come from the bottom. So we can easily do that by going under the text animation and just set the Y position value to 0. And in the beginning we can set the value to something like this. So now if I play back, here you can see that now our text is coming up. Yeah, so this is looking nice. You can probably select the text and change its font, whatever you want. So yeah, let's go with this one, and I'm going to scale it down, something like this. Also, I'm going to add a little bit of space between the characters. You can do that by simply clicking on tracking and just simply increase it up like this. So now if I play back, here you can see that now our text is coming up. Yeah, so this is looking fine. We can also animate this bottom layer. So press P on the keyboard, add a keyframe, just move it apart, and in the beginning just move it below, something like this. Then select the keyframes, easy ease, play with the graph editor, and that's it. So this is looking nice. So we are pretty much done with this part. You can also add more details like your website name over here if you want, but for this example we are going to just leave it over here. And we can do one more thing. We can add some shadow behind this layer. So make sure you select this layer and just simply search for drop shadow effect, and you can just simply change its softness, something like this. And here you can see that we have this really nice shadow behind this. You can probably increase its opacity if you want, but I think this is looking fine. We can also do the same thing with this shape also. So for this one we can change the direction. So yeah, so now you can see that we have this really nice shadow. So everything is looking fine, but still our image is not moving much, so we can add some little bit of animation to that. So in the beginning we can select the media layer, then press S on the keyboard for scale, click here to add a keyframe, and let's move to the 15th frame, and we can just simply scale it up like this. And also we can select the layer, press P on the keyboard for position, and let's just move it something like this. So now if I play back, here you can see that we have this really nice minimal animation in the background. So we're pretty much done with this part. Now you can also enhance this by adding some light leaks to it. So now here you can see that I have imported the file and I've dropped it into the COM. So just simply select it and press S on the keyboard to scale it up. And after that you can change the blending mode to screen or add, whatever you want. So now if I play back, here you can see that we have this really nice light leak going on. If its intensity is too much, you can select the layer, then press T to open up opacity property and just lower down its value. So let's set it to 50%. So now you can see that we have this really nice light leak going on. You can also just place it on top of the media only. So now it's affecting the background only and not the text itself. Yeah, so this is how you can create this type of story. Again, you can edit these and type whatever you want. You can add your website or stuff like that. The basic thing will remain same. Now the best thing about this approach is that you can easily change the media in this one. So if I want to change the image, I can simply go inside the composition and I can just simply drag and drop whatever image I want. And if I go back, here you can see that the changes have been applied. So you can probably change its scale and play around with its position if you want, like this, and there you go. So everything is already animated, so you do not have to worry about anything. So this is how you guys can create this type of story.